You don't find out who you are when everything's easy. You don't find yourself in comfort. You don't meet your potential in the warmth of your bed or the praise of others. You discover the real version of yourself when your body is broken, your mind is screaming to quit, and no one's coming to save you. That's when the truth shows up. The pain is the doorway, and suffering is the key that unlocks the person you were meant to become. You want confidence. You want clarity. Then earn it in the dark. Earn it when your legs feel like concrete and your lungs are burning. Earn it when the voices in your head are telling you to walk away and you stare them down and take another step forward. That's where you build identity. That's where you find freedom. Every single day, most people run from suffering. They hide from the cold. They avoid the challenge. But what they don't realize is they're running from the very thing that could set them free. Pain isn't your enemy. It's your teacher. It's your sculptor. It's the blacksmith's fire that forges a stronger version of you. When you go into the suffering, you strip away all the lies, all the excuses, all the soft layers this world puts on you. You get raw. You get real. You find out what you're really made of. And for most, it's not as much as they think. That's the brutal truth. But if you face it, if you don't flinch when life punches you in the mouth, you can build something new. You can rebuild a new identity out of discipline, grit, and relentless self-respect. This isn't about being tough for others. It's about being tough for yourself. It's about looking in the mirror and knowing that you didn't take the easy road, that you pushed through hell and refused to break, that you bled, cried, screamed, but never backed down. You suffered and you earned who you became. So stop hiding from the cold. Stop dodging the grind. Go into the suffering. Because on the other side of that hell is your freedom. Suffering reveals the truth about who you are. Most people live their whole lives never truly knowing themselves. They walk around with borrowed beliefs, inherited fears, and fabricated identities crafted by comfort, society, and false validation. But the truth in the spotlight, it doesn't speak in the applause. It whispers in the silence of suffering. When you're broken, alone, and stripped of everything you thought made you strong, that's when the truth steps forward. That's when the mask falls. The person you think you are gets tested. Only what's real remains. Suffering doesn't lie. It exposes. It reveals. Imagine you're out there in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat, lungs on fire, body screaming for mercy. There's no crowd, no music, no comfort, just pain. It's in that moment that a shift happens. You see, most of us have layers of comfort, lies, and self-preservation. But when you suffer, those layers start to burn off. You don't have time for your ego. You don't have space for excuses. There's only one voice left. The raw, unfiltered version of yourself. And whether you like it or not, that's who you really are. And this is why suffering is necessary. It strips away the fantasy and hands you reality. You find out if you're a fighter or a pretender. You learn whether you're driven by purpose or by popularity. When everything is taken from you, your energy, your momentum, your safety net, you find out whether your identity was built on solid ground or on sand. Some people crumble in that moment. Others rise. And that's what makes the difference. Suffering doesn't just show you who you are. It gives you the chance to rebuild who you want to be. The problem is, most people they avoid pain at all costs. They numb themselves with distractions, dopamine, comfort food, and social media. They stay soft because they fear what suffering might reveal. They fear facing the truth. But that's the point. You can't become strong unless you confront your weakness. You can't build resilience until you acknowledge your fragility. It takes courage to suffer, real courage, because it's not just physical pain. It's the mental war, the emotional excavation, the spiritual breakdown. But in that destruction, a stronger foundation is laid. Go ahead and think back to your darkest moment. That time when you felt like giving up, when no one understood, when the odds were stacked so high you could barely breathe. If you came out of that storm even barely, then you know what I'm talking about. You came out changed. You came out with clarity. Because the version of you that walked into the fire is not the version that walked out. That's how truth works. It transforms through torment. It sharpens through suffering. You can read 1,000 books on mindset, but until you go through hell, you're just reciting words you haven't lived. So the next time you're suffering, don't run. Beg for it to stop. Lean in. Observe it. Let it rip away the fake and leave only the truth. Because you can't build an unbreakable mind until you've been broken. And you can't find your real identity until you've lost everything you thought defined you. Suffering isn't the end. It's the beginning of finding out exactly who the hell you really are. Pain is not the enemy. It's the guide. We've been taught to treat pain like it's some kind of disease. Something to medicate, avoid, silence, or escape. That's why most people stay stuck. They never learn to listen to what the pain is trying to say. Pain isn't there to punish you. It's there to guide you. It's not a threat. It's the most honest voice in your life. And if you're willing to stop fighting it, it will show you exactly where you need to go and who you need to become. When you feel pain, whether it's physical exhaustion, emotional heartbreak, or mental fatigue, that's a signal. That's the body, the mind, and the spirit all yelling, there's growth here. Don't turn away. But what do most people do? They distract themselves, take shortcuts, or lie to themselves just to avoid discomfort. That's why they never level up. Pain was trying to guide them, and they ignored it. It's like being in a dark room and smashing the only flashlight because the light was too bright. You've got to flip the script. Instead of dodging the pain, use it. Let it carve the path. Let it be your coach. When your legs are trembling and your lungs are burning and you've got nothing left in the tank, don't see that as defeat. See it as data. Your pain is showing you the edge of your current limit. And that's the exact place you need to stay if you want to grow. That pain is a compass pointing toward your next level. The people who excel in life, the killers, the warriors, the unstoppable, they don't avoid pain. They follow it. There's no success story without suffering. No elite mindset without mental scars. Every single great person you've ever looked up to got there because they answered pain's call instead of ignoring it. The challenge with pain is that it demands humility. It breaks your ego. It exposes where you're weak. It reminds you that you're not invincible. But that's the exact point of growth. Pain is honest. And that honesty, it's priceless. It's more valuable than any comfort or praise because it gives you a mirror that reflects the truth. The truth is, pain gives you access to parts of yourself that nothing else can reach. When you're in pain, your instincts get louder. Your resilience gets tested. Your perspective changes. Suddenly, things that used to break you now feel manageable. Things that once scared you now look small. Why? Because pain expanded your capacity. It showed you a version of yourself you didn't even know existed. It's not some punishment. It's the greatest mentor you'll ever have, but only if you stop treating it like the enemy. So the next time life punches you in the mouth, don't just brace for impact. Pay attention. Ask, what's this trying to teach me? Because buried inside every painful moment is a lesson, a message, a revelation. Pain is the brutal teacher, and only those willing to be students will walk away transformed. If you want to become something greater than you are now, pain isn't just part of the process. It is the process. Let it lead you. Let it sharpen you. Let it break the version of you that's not strong enough to carry the vision you're chasing. Comfort breeds weakness. Comfort is the silent killer. It doesn't scream. It doesn't punch you in the face. It whispers. It lulls you into softness. It makes you believe that staying still is safe, that avoiding the hard road is logical, that mediocrity is acceptable. But over time, comfort robs you. It strips away your edge. It numbs your ambition. It turns warriors into watchers. It turns lions into house cats. You don't grow in comfort. You decay in it. Every day you choose comfort over challenge, you're making a decision to be less than what you're capable of. Think about it. When's the last time something easy changed your life? When did avoiding the struggle make you better? Never. Because comfort doesn't sharpen you. Struggle does. When you're always warm, you forget how to fight the cold. When you're always full, you lose the hunger. The body adapts. The mind adapts. You become exactly what you repeatedly do. So if all you do is chase ease, you become soft, weak, passive. Life will eventually hit you. And when it does, you won't have the armor to withstand it. Comfort is seductive because it makes you feel good right now. That's the trap. It's the lie that tells you, just sleep in today. Take it easy. You've done enough. And when you listen long enough, that voice becomes your identity. That voice becomes louder than the one inside you that's screaming to be better, to do more, to push harder. You bury that voice in pillows, pizza, and playlists. You kill the beast inside by starving it of struggle. But that beast, that was your potential. That was the version of you capable of greatness. Every time you say no to pain and yes to comfort, you're letting yourself down. You're building a habit of retreat. And when life throws adversity your way, and it will, you'll fold. Because you haven't trained to endure. You haven't prepared to suffer. You haven't developed grit, because grit only grows in the grind. You want strength. Earn it. You want discipline. Practice it when it's uncomfortable. You want to lead, dominate, and rise. Start by walking straight into the places that make you uncomfortable and stay there. The people who win aren't the most talented. They're the ones who live in discomfort long enough to develop weapons others never will. Mental toughness, emotional control, physical endurance. These traits aren't born. They're forged. And you don't forge anything in a spa, on a couch, or in the comfort zone. You forge them in freezing rain, in long nights, in 4 a.m. wake up calls. So breaking repetitions of effort. You suffer, you sweat, you grind, and through it all, you rise. Comfort is the enemy of growth. You have to kill it before it kills your ambition. Wake up early, push your body, deny the easy path. Strip away the luxuries that make you soft and put yourself in positions that demand strength. The more you train in discomfort, the more unstoppable you become in real life. Because when others are breaking, you'll be thriving. When they retreat, you'll attack. When they panic, you'll lead. But it starts by choosing discomfort on purpose. Confidence comes from struggle. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's not handed out. It's earned. And the only currency it accepts is struggle. People want to feel powerful. They want to walk into a room and own it. But they don't want to bleed for it. They want to talk about being confident without ever going through the battles that forge it. Real confidence doesn't come from books, motivational quotes, or fake bravado. It comes from the trenches, from doing the hard things when nobody's watching, from building a track record of surviving your worst days and never backing down. You see, struggle is the proving ground. When you force yourself into difficult situations, when your hands shake, your heart pounds, and your instincts scream, quit. And you come out different. You come out knowing that you can take pain, you can take rejection, you can take failure and keep moving forward. That knowledge becomes your backbone. That experience becomes your armor. Confidence isn't hype. It's evidence. It's the cold, hard truth that you've done hard things before and you can damn sure do them again. When you look around and see truly confident people, you're looking at scars. You're looking at someone who's failed, fallen, been embarrassed, and still showed up the next day. They didn't get there by coasting through life. They've been in the fire. They've suffered in silence. And in that pain, they developed a voice that says, I'm going forward anyway. That's what real confidence sounds like. It's quiet. It's steady. And it's built from hours, months, even years of embracing struggle while everyone else ran from it. People think avoiding pain will make them feel better about themselves. But the truth is, from a challenge, you lose a little trust in yourself. You know you didn't follow through. That betrayal sticks. And it chips away at your belief. On the other hand, when you do what you said you'd do, especially when it's hard, your brain takes notes. It says, we've got this. We're the kind of person who shows up. And that repetition of courage under fire is how confidence gets built layer by layer. Struggle is where you earn the right to believe in yourself. When your legs are shaking, your vision's blurry, your mind is begging for rest, and you keep going. That's when your inner voice gets louder. That's when doubt gets drowned out. You've shown yourself what you're capable of. No one can give you that kind of power. No one can fake that kind of strength. The only way to own it is to suffer for it, to sweat for it, and to refuse to quit even when everything inside you is begging you to stop. So when you feel weak, when you feel lost, when you doubt yourself, that's not the time to shrink. That's the signal to enter the struggle. Because confidence isn't built in comfort. It's built in resistance. It's built in showing up again when it hurts, when it's cold, when it's hard. And over time, those repetitions of pain become the foundation of a mindset that doesn't break. A mindset that knows, not hopes, knows that no matter what, you've got what it takes. Because you already paid the price in the struggle. No one is coming to save you. Let's cut the fantasy. No one is coming to save you. Not your family, not your friends, not your mentors, not your heroes. And the quicker you accept it, the faster your life starts moving. Too many people are sitting in the waiting room of life, looking out the window for help, for a hand, for someone to believe in them more than they believe in themselves. But that's not how this works. If you're waiting, you're losing. If you're hoping for rescue, you're already behind. The truth is brutal, but it's also freeing. Everything you need is already inside you. You just haven't gone deep enough into hell to unlock it. It's easy to blame the world. It's easy to say, I didn't have support. I had a hard childhood. Nobody believed in me. But that's not an excuse. It's a challenge. That's the arena you've been thrown into. Now what? You're going to sit there and cry about it? Or are you going to rise? Because the truth is, your pain, your loneliness, your lack of help, that's your path. That's the fuel. The longer you wait for someone to push you, the longer you stay stuck in that same hole. You want out. Climb. Crawl. Bleed. But move. Because no one's lowering a rope. There's power in this mindset. Once you stop looking for a savior, you stop waiting. You stop stalling. You start doing. You take extreme ownership of your pain, your problems, your failures. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start saying, what am I going to do about it? That shift turns victims into warriors. It turns spectators into savages. The world doesn't owe you anything. Life doesn't care about your story. But when you stop expecting it to be fair, you gain the advantage. You start focusing on what you control. And that's where real power lies. Look around. How many people are still waiting? Waiting for the right time, the perfect situation, the ideal support system. They'll wait for, you want to separate yourself. Get up now. Move while it's dark. Train while it hurts. Build while no one claps. Because what it takes, that's what ownership looks. No handouts. No backup. Just your demons and the will to keep going when it makes no sense to keep going. That's what makes you different. That's what builds unshakable self-respect. This doesn't mean you never need people. It doesn't mean you isolate forever, but it does mean that your progress, your growth, your mission, that's your responsibility. It's your job to show up every day like no one's coming because no one is. And when you adopt that mindset, when you train that hard, when you go that deep, you become dangerous. You become a force that doesn't need saving because you've built yourself into your own weapon. You don't need motivation. You are the motivation. You don't need permission. You are the authority. You don't need help. You've built the habits that help you survive. So stop looking around. Stop begging. Stand up and face the mirror. That's your rescuer. That's your soldier. That's your leader. No one is coming to save you because you were built to save yourself. And if you haven't stepped into that power yet, it's because you're still playing weak. Time to stop. Time to own everything. Time to rise alone, fight alone, and win alone. You must go into the darkness to build the light. You don't build strength in the light. You build it in the dark. The darkness is where your mind gets tested. It's where your limits get shattered. It's where every soft, weak version of you dies so something harder, stronger, and more disciplined can rise. People want greatness, but they don't want to go where it's created. They want the glow without facing the storm. But make no mistake, every ounce of light you ever shine in this world is paid for in the darkness. The light you carry is earned in silence, pain, and isolation. There's something terrifying about facing yourself in the dark. When there's no music, no fans, no recognition, just your doubts, your failures, and the voice inside your head that tells you you're not enough. Most people run from that. They fear what they'll find when they're alone. But the few who face that darkness head on, they transform. Because in that blackness, you either break or you build. You either fold or you forge. The pain, the fear. Those aren't signs to retreat. They're signs you're exactly where you need to be. The darkness forces honesty. You can't hide behind filters, fake smiles, or fake confidence when you're suffering alone. There are no shortcuts in that space. There's only effort and truth. You find out exactly who you are when you're exhausted, doubting yourself, and still pushing forward. That's when your character gets revealed. That's when you begin to uncover your real potential. Not the version people see, but the version even you didn't know existed. The darkness exposes everything, and if you stay there long enough, it will start to build everything. But here's the thing. Darkness isn't comfortable. That's why people avoid it. They want certainty, comfort, applause. They chase distractions instead of facing the war inside. And that's exactly why they stay average. They never develop the mindset it takes to win when everything falls apart. You don't build that strength in the light. You build it when it's just you versus you. when your back's against the wall, when no one believes in you and you're the only one who can carry yourself forward. That's the real training ground. That's the real gym of the mind. Every breakthrough you want is behind a door labeled suffering. And behind that door is total darkness. But if you step in it willingly, if you don't flinch, don't run, and don't quit, you'll find something inside you that can't be taught. It has to be earned. A weapon no one can take from you, conviction. Not hope, not hype. The belief that you've walked through fire and survived, that belief builds a light so powerful, people can feel it when you enter a room. But you didn't get it from talking. You got it from doing. So if you're lost, if you're broken, if you're drowning in fear, don't run from it. Go into it. Stay in it. Let the darkness carve you, break you, teach you. Because the deeper you go into that suffering, the brighter the fire burns inside. And when that fire is lit, when it's been earned through hell, no one can put it out. You build your light in the darkness, and that light, that's what makes you unstoppable.